Hello, YouTube. Good evening. My name is Leo, and with me are Igor and Bruno. Tonight, the topic is no, and let's talk about it, boys. So, Igor, can you introduce yourself? And please, have you ever said no, said yes when you wanted to say no?
Hi, good evening. Yes, my name is Igor. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, but I'm living in Fairfield, Iowa right now. And as my hobby, I like to go running and exercise a lot. And for the question, if I have ever said yes to something that I would like to say no, and the answer is yes as well, because sometimes we get ourselves in some situations that we can't just say no. And we end up saying yes, even want to say no.
Yeah, especially in your jobs, it happens a lot. Sometimes it also can happen in your family, but yeah, it happens a lot in the workplace. And you, Elio, can you introduce yourself, please? And have you ever said yes when you wanted to say no?
My name is Hélio. I'm from Campinas, São Paulo. I am 44 years old. I'm married, and no kids, and I work in a bank as a software developer. About the question, uh, I I I always say yes when I want to say no in my professional life and my familiar life, because sometimes we must to agree with something to just to avoid arguing because of this kind of things.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah,
Sometimes we are just tired to explain something.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I just
yeah.
say yes, but I do not agree. It's a
uh,
good question. Do you agree? Do you already agree with someone when you disagree with this?
yeah, yeah. It usually happens because uh, it doesn't worth the time consuming, you know.
Yeah, we have to explain and
Yeah.
everything. Uh, yeah, sometimes I'm so tired and I don't want to explain nothing.
Yeah,
So I just do it, especially to my parents. It's a problem.
yeah. Sometimes
And
it makes the things easier to agree with
yeah,
something that
married,
you actually
it's something pretty common in marriage.
yeah, yeah.
And you, Igor, have you ever agreed with something that you disagree?
Yeah, a lot of times actually. As Ellie said, sometimes we just want to avoid you know, all of the situation or the talk about it. So yeah, sometimes we just say yes, even not agreeing with that.
Yeah, uh, but even uh, even if we say yes when you wanted to say no, uh, do you usually say no or it's sorry, Breno, are you here? Breno? I don't think so. So guys,
I think he is, but he's just listening because the microphone icon for his name is not appearing.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with his mic. I will send to him a message on the chat. Sometimes it's really problematic because we start to avoid to say no, and it's a problem. And so, Igor, do you usually say no, or it's really problematic to you?
And nowadays is much more easier to say no. I think when I was younger, maybe I tried to avoid some situations or something like that. But today I say no for a lot of things, and I think it's easier nowadays.
Yeah, to me as well. I think it's some steps. It
Yeah,
was harder a few times ago. Now it's still hard, but not that hard.
yeah.
uh, Into value, do you usually say no?
I believe, as Igor said, when we were young, it is usually more difficult to say no because we mix the personal stuff with professional and familiar, and we sometimes care about others will think about us, and so it is difficult to say no. But we are getting older, and we care less about these things, and we for me, I I I tend to think more in my feelings and which is important for me. So if I have to say no, I say, because other people don't hesitate in saying no for me. That's why, and we usually learn in the hard way. Yeah.
Yeah, this is uh, the top reason to me start to learning how to say no, because when I have to ask something to someone, it looks that it's easy to then say no to me.
Exactly.
So, Jesus, it's not fair. It's so hard to me say no to them. I should learn it, and then decide to start to say no. It's the opposite of that movie. I forgot the name of the movie. It's from Jim Carrey. That he has to say yes to everything because he just say no to everyone. And guys, do you feel bad when someone say no? And why do you think this happens? Or you don't feel bad? As I said, it was a problematic question to me, because I felt angry when someone say no to me, because it's not I don't usually ask to someone do something to me. It's really hard, actually. So okay, I'm asked to you, but I understand when someone has other things or has to work and take care of someone, but I just, okay, you don't have do it to me, but sometimes I just like a kid sometimes, and I feel angry. I don't want to talk with you if you say no to me. Sometimes this happens. So, Igor, do you feel bad when someone say no to you or no?
I think it depends on the situation or what I asked for. Oh, she's cute. Hi. Okay. Yeah, I think it depends on the situation because, sometimes you ask with some expectation about someone and when you heard no, it's harder than um, hear a yes, for example. But, as I said, I think I used to be more impacted for something like that when I was younger. Today, nowadays, I think that everyone has his own priorities, and sometimes you have to understand that the people that you asked for doing something for you has his own responsibilities or something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes it's uh, just about priorities. So, yeah, if we all have our own priorities. So if I cannot help you now and I have to say no, yeah, I agree with you. And you, value.
Yeah, I sometimes feel bad when someone say no because I don't usually ask for difficult things, and sometimes I feel like the person are being mean or something like that for not doing or not making this favor. But that's the way life is. Uh, I feel worse when it is something that the other people or other how can I say the or a service provider is saying no, and it is its duty to do this thing. Then I feel worst, and I feel very bad, very angry about it. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but it's something that I have to work in myself. But it is it's a very bad feeling for me.
Yeah, I think that there are some situations that it's
Yeah.
harder to us understand when someone say no to us. So I think it's your case. Yeah, in my case, I think that it's when I ask to something to my parents. I don't think that I ask to them many things. I even don't live with them. So Jesus, why you don't do it to me? It's not happens a lot. I just ask you today, and I will do it again
Yeah.
only next year.
And when you are paying for a service, we are we are paying for that, and we, they cannot do their duty properly. It is terrible.
Yeah, it's especially hard if you are paying
Yeah,
someone, if
yeah,
you pay someone.
yeah.
Uh, guys, and the opposite. Have ever someone felt angry at you because you said no to them? Hélio?
I think so, but it's that case then that when you do something, you don't feel that much as like when someone do it for you. But uh, I believe that I have already said no to someone that makes him or her angry.
And yeah, in my case, it happens when I say no to my sis because uh, I, I I I have no idea why she felt angry at me. Sometimes I have to say no. Sometimes we have to say no. But she felt really angry when I said no
Maybe
to her.
because she thinks that you have an obligation with her, something like that.
Yeah, she's an asshole. Uh, and here we go.
Uh, Probably yes. I can remember like someone that I know that be, that is upset with me because I said no, but probably yes.
I think that it happens with everybody. It's almost a general problem. And Igor, why do you think that it's so hard to say no sometimes? Sometimes, as you said, it's easier, but sometimes it's not. Uh, why it's hard to say no to some situations than to others?
Yeah, I think it depends. Sometimes you just don't want to um, make someone upset with you or something like that, or sometimes you um, think, oh, that's not a big thing. I can do it, even don't want don't want it. But yeah, I'm not sure actually. Why is it hard? Uh, I'm gonna take the risk to say that it's always because you don't wanna the other people upset with you.
Yeah, it's a good reason. And sometimes I also think that it's harder to me when I usually ask a favor to someone and then that people ask someone something to me. It's hard to me say no to that person because I kind of have the obligation to say yes to
You have
them.
to retribute him.
Yes, exactly. And you, Elio?
Yeah, for me, it's difficult to say no because of all the reasons Igor has already listened to said to us. Because I think we don't want to break the other's expectations or even to frustrate them. So we we care about it. That's in my case. That's why it's difficult for me to say no.
Yeah. And I just think about the workplace because I'm not a manager. I'm not a I do not manage people and hard and nothing about it. But I think if I was a manager or work with people, would be really hard to me if I have hired someone or not, because I think it will not be easy to me do it. So guys, Elio, uh, talk about this workplace. I just remind myself that it was really hard to me get a job because I am a person who feel uncomfortable if I have to talk. So be in a job interview, it's not easy to me. I feel nervous. I just freak out. So I just was not acceptable in a job interview. But one was especially hard to me because I realized that he really wanted to give me that opportunity, but I was really nervous and I just don't talk anything good in that
Yeah.
job interview. Yes, it was that
But
was
it
really problem.
happens with all of us. It happens with me lots of times. And sometimes I get upset with the interviewer as it is its fault, but it's my fault. I haven't not prepared, but it's prepared emotionally prepared for the whole situation. But it's very it upsets us hearing a no after a job interview because it's something that we really it changed our life sometimes to get that job, and it is difficult for us to deal with this whole situation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it was exactly what happens with me
yeah,
because since that moment, I just start to learn more about what makes
yeah,
me uncomfortable, why I just freak out, and then I start to learn things that makes me feel more comfortable. And then I just don't get it, that job. I lose that opportunity.
yeah.
But when he said no to me, today I think that it was good to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
no was a barrier breaker in your life and in our life, but we have to understand it, and it make us
yeah,
grow. Yeah, it's important. Some no's are important in our life, in our career, and in our personal life as well.
yeah. And value something like this happens to you as well or not?
Yeah, no, I believe it happens with all of us in in job interviews, in relationships. It happens a lot, and we have to learn with these no's, right? To grow, to become a better person and change something in our in our way to present ourselves.
Yeah, it's bad news in personal life.
Yeah.
when someone said no to you in a relationship. And
But
here we go. Go on, Adil.
no. But I will just say that it is always a learning process.
Yeah. Uh, here we go. What was the best no that someone said to you?
Good question. Hmm.
No one
Um,
say no to me.
yeah, good question. But I think that the best no I've ever heard in my life was from my brothers. When I was younger, I mean, I always admired my brother a lot, and when I was younger, I decided that I was going to tell him that. And one day, one day I woke up and I went to my brother and I said, "Hey, I wanna be like you one day. You're awesome, and I really admire you." And he said, "No, you better not. You better be better than me." You have to be better. You have to make what I didn't have the opportunity to do. So that was the best no I ever heard. And yeah, it was difficult for a kid to digest because I now I understand, but at that age I couldn't understand why he said that. But yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, especially to a kid. It's kind of push you. You have to be better than me. It's not a good idea.
I was like, how's that even possible?
Yeah, basically like this. So guys, I still talk about no. We kind of developed this ability to say no. So how do you think that we can learn it to say no, Vigo? Is it a way, a certain way? There's not.
Yeah, I don't think we have a right right path to learn that how to say no, but I think you should balance some priorities in your life to to know when you have to say no to someone on or when you can say yes. If you're saying yes, you'll be happy with that, or if you say no, you're not gonna feel better, feel worse. Like sometimes you say no, but you feel worse saying no to that person. So you have to always balance that and then make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe it's just about learning, about make decisions. S- Sometimes it's also hard to me take decisions.
I
Yeah,
think it's
it's
harder for everyone. I think it's hard for everyone.
yeah. And sometimes I just want to eat something. It's simple, but it's sometimes hard to decide. Yeah.
I have a tip for that. When I don't know what I want, what I'm gonna eat, I always let my wife to decide. So yeah, you can um you can let your partner decide for you. That's a good tip.
Yeah, it can help. And do better.
Uh, I think we learn with time by saying no, by uh, learning how to prioritize things in our daily life. Uh, in our personal life, in our professional career. We learn every day how to prioritize things, and it's impossible to say yes for everything. So I think it's a decision, like you said. We must take some decisions, and sometimes this decision we must to say no. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's easy, and we learn how to decide every day.
Yeah, and Jesus, my mind just exploding here because we're talking about decisions, about priorities, about many things, and it's really problematic to me, those questions, because yeah, because I just think a lot about it. Because to me, as I said, it's really hard taking decisions, saying no, and sometimes I just think that uh, sometimes I don't know, I have no idea about life. I'm just learning every day about it. I'm 28 years old and I have no idea about life. And sometimes I have to work, I have friends, I have a boyfriend, and I have to deal with everything. I have to prioritize my work, my home, my parents, my friends, my boyfriends. So what is my priority? Uh, what what I have to focus, what I have to prioritize if I have to visit someone. It's really hard to me think about everything. So it's a question that I'm asking to me. Jesus, I I have no idea how to answer this. I'm still learning what are my priorities.
But
So I'm
this
here.
is something that we learn every day. You said you are 28 years old. I am 44, and I'm still learning. Uh, no one has the correct answers for this. Only we have to discover by ourselves this.
What a shit.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, guys. Question number 7. Igor, is saying no a good way to set boundaries?
I think it's the better way to do that. Sometimes you if you want to set some boundaries, you know, in your relation with someone, and say no to some kind of um, situations or things that that person think they can do or something like that. Or even if you are at work and you, for example, work as in your home, if you work from home, and your boss send you a message in the middle of your cafe, your um, for example, and you want to set some boundaries on that, you can say no to hang out. It's never easy, I mean, it's your boss, but you should, because if you don't, your life will become your work, and you definitely don't want that. So I think it's the better way to set boundaries.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And Giovanni, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree with you, Igor. Uh, say no definitely is a way to set boundaries. To, like Igor said, in our professional career, in these these days when we don't have such a uh, difference in our professional life and our private life. It's all mixed up, and sometimes we have to say no to our boss. And in our personal relations, we have to say no to put a barrier in some situations. It is a good way to do it. Is saying no.
Yeah, and I think it's especially hard when it's not usual. Uh, for example, as I said in the beginning, I'm learning how to say no, how to set some boundaries. So when I say no to some friends, to someone in my family, it's something unexpected because I'm learning it. So few years ago, few months ago, I just said yes. And now kinda people kinda don't recognize the new Leo who is coming. That is someone that says no, who is learned to say no. So it's kind of problematic when we start to set some boundaries to people who are not uh, often listen to no, especially to me. So I think it can be a problematic. I think it's really hard to set boundaries in the beginning of our relationships. So kinda of the person kinda know you the way that uh you want. So the people start to know you with that boundaries. It's not something that you start to build and during the relationship. I think it's something that can help me start and to meet someone new and set boundaries despite meet someone uh start to say yes and then just say no. It's yeah, Jesus on my mind. It's
No, but
confusing too.
it's a interesting view, yeah, because uh, sometimes when you people see you with one eye when you always say yes, and out of the sudden you become to no, it's not that way. Yeah, it's an interesting point you put.
Yeah. And Elio, are there consequences if you don't know how to say no?
Yeah, actually, there are lots of consequences because sometimes when we say yes to everything, uh, we cannot do all the things we propose to do, or we are doing something that we don't want to do, and it's a bad consequence for ourselves. Don't know if
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got your point. Yeah, especially questions about money. It's funny because yesterday I bought a jacket to my niece, and I just realized, Jesus Christ, it was so expensive. She's a kid. It should not be that expensive. And I don't buy a jacket in that price to me because I think it's really expensive. So I said no to me, but I bought the jacket to my nephew, to my niece. Yeah.
But you bought it because you couldn't say no to her, or
Yeah,
another reason?
he didn't want to say no.
Exactly.
Have
So
the courage to say no.
it's the point. Yeah.
Jesus.
You will remember this for a long time.
Yeah. And Domingo, do you think that there are consequences if you don't know how to say no?
Yes, definitely. You'll be crazy. You're probably gonna be crazy. You have to. I mean, when you don't know how to say no to, anyone, you probably don't even know who you are yet because you are not living your life. You are losing yourself. You are living, what others want you to. So
It was really hard to listen, okay, Igor?
no, I'm not talking about you because you have some difficulties to say no, but you probably say no to someone.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, when you don't say no to anyone, that's a big problem. Oh my God.
Yeah. It just reminds me the uh Alice in the Borderlands. I don't remember the sentence of the cat. It's similar. If you don't know what path choose, any path, it's okay to use something like
Yeah,
this.
I read that one day.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I have
And
another one, which is if you don't know what you want, you have to accept what life brings to you.
Jesus, yeah, exactly this. uh, Elliot, do you agree with Igor?
Yeah, I think so. It is a good point. It's something like if you don't choose, you will be chosen. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, do you already read of uh, some note that you already said? It's something that's also really interesting to think because it's hard to say no, but sometimes we say and then we regret of it. So have never this happens with you, Vigo? Or
Yes, but as I said, nowadays it's really easy to me when I identify that I regret something. It's really easy to, get in contact with the person and say, "Oh, yeah, I changed my idea, so let's go," or something like that.
yeah, yeah, it's something that uh yeah, we learn with the life. Sometimes we don't know how to say no. Sometimes we say no and then we regret. And then we have to say sorry. And yeah, it can happen. And with you, Elio.
Yeah, and for me, it's not difficult to regret something and to let people know that I'm regret. But for lots of people, it's difficult to even when they are making a bad decision, they don't regret and don't want to show that they regret. But for me, it's okay to regret for some decision or for some no's that I've said in the past. But it is up to everyone.
Yeah, I think it's totally connected with with taking decisions.
Yeah.
Sometimes we take good decisions, sometimes not. Sometimes we have to say sorry, sometimes not. So
And sometimes it, for some people, it shows weakness to make bad decisions. And that's why lots of people don't want to show that they are regretted of some no's in the past.
yes, and we start to feel anxious of it because we
Yeah.
don't know what decision to take, and we don't want it to take a bad decisions. This is my life.
That's the way life is.
Yeah. So guys, I think that's it. We have more 5 minutes, but we already discussed about the question number 10. So I think that we can finish this conversation. Okay, guys. So it was really interesting to talk with you. I will not sleep tonight because I will think a lot about what Igor said to me.
No, it wasn't my intention.
Yeah. But okay. So guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekends. Enjoy. And I really hope to see you here again next week.
Thank you.
So see you all, boys.